Welcome to today's upper body strength class. I'm Coach Lindsay. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be doing a all strength class, more so focused on our shoulders. So our shoulders hold a big responsibility for our body. We do a lot with our shoulder joint. So we want to make sure that we're doing our best to mobilize and strengthen that area, the joint and the muscles surrounding. So today's class is going to be all standing. So you're not going to have to worry about getting up and down off of the floor. You can do this class seated in a chair. I would recommend that if you're able to do this standing, because what happens when we stand and we add resistance to our upper body is our core fires on. So without intentionally working on our core, it's a great way to work on your core. So stand if you can. If not, you have your chair, have a corner or a counter or a chair close by for those weights. Now today's class, we're going to break into two sections. So we have a mobility section that's going to work on mobility. So you're going to need a lighter set of weights or no weights for that part of class. I have 3 pounds for reference. I would go anywhere from 1 to 5. 5 is even pretty heavy for these mobility exercises. And then our second part of class today is going to be a strength section. So that is where you can pick whatever weight you feel is appropriate for that strength set. Keep in mind, we're still working on shoulders, so we don't need anything super heavy. I have 8 pounds for reference. I would go from anywhere from 5 to 12. So if you don't have weights, use objects around your house, or you can do these without weights, as it's great to just move our arms. That's enough of me talking. Let's get into our warm-up, and then we'll talk a little bit more about class. So let's start with a march just to get our body warmed up and our blood flowing. So get those knees nice and high. We're not doing anything with our lower body today, but our lower body is supporting us if we're standing, right? So we still want to make sure our lower body is nice and warm. Get those arms moving, get that heart rate up. Excellent, nice and tall. Keep that core engaged so that your back stays nice and straight. So if you start to notice throughout these exercises that your back is starting to arch or hunch, that's your cue to engage your core so that you stay nice and straight. So our first section today is 3 exercises for mobility. We're gonna do 10 reps of each exercise, repeat it 3 times. So nice and simple structure. Strength section is 4 exercises, repeat it 3 times for 10 repetitions. So very, very easy structure today, but hopefully a good workout nonetheless. So let's get into some arm circles. Nice big arm circles backwards, mobilizing that shoulder here. Now this is an all levels class, so you have your weight ranges. You also have modifications. However, I purposely didn't do anything above the head today. So if you are somebody who struggles to get those arms above the head because of your shoulder, don't worry. We don't have to worry about any of that today. Keep going with those backward arm circles, a couple more. And let's switch it forward this time. Excellent. Couple more. And let's relax those arms, shake them out. We're gonna do some goal pose. So we're gonna start with the arms up and we're gonna come down, opening up the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades, and then coming back up. So we're gonna do about 10 in total above the head. This is the only thing I have above the head, but it's just good for mobility here. And then we'll go forward with that goal pose. Excellent. 2 more. Last one. Bring it forward this time. So arms come out in front. We still do the same thing. Open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. You should by now feel that shoulder joint really getting nice and warm, nice and mobilized. We want to make sure we have a really solid warm up when we do strength exercises so that we don't, have any injuries or really further irritate any existing injuries or issues that we might have. A couple more here. One last part of our warm up is our IYWT stretch, okay? So we have our arms up in a Y, I bring it down to a Y, bring it down to a W, and then up to a T with the palms up, okay? So repeat this a few times. I know you can't see my arms, it cuts off. Y, W, and T. A couple more. I, Y, W, and T. Excellent. Last one here. I, Y, W, and T. Awesome. Shake those arms out. We should be nice and warmed up by now. So we're going to start with our mobility set. Grab your lighter set of weights, or like I said, you can do this section with no weights. I'm going to grab my 3 pounders. I'm going to show you the first exercise and then we're going to start. So we have 10 repetitions of internal external rotation. So we're going to start with the arms up like this, creating a 90-degree angle here with our armpit. Our elbows are gonna almost touch here as we begin. Then we're gonna open up and back in, okay? So whenever you're ready, go ahead and join me now. We're gonna do 10 repetitions here, either with me or on your own, but really try to maintain that 90-degree angle with your armpit, okay? So try not to let those elbows fall lower. Nice goalpost motion here, adding a little resistance. Really keep that core nice and engaged so that you're not arching your back here. Something that helps with that is staggering the feet, okay? So if you kind of notice that your back is hurting or that core is not as engaged, stagger those feet a little bit here. Excellent. We have 3 more. 2. Last one. Fabulous. Drop those weights. I like to throw the weights down in between each set just because holding onto weights for a long time is a little bit stressful on the shoulders. So work out the shoulders. We're going to take about a 20 to 30 second rest in between each exercise. So keep resting. I'm going to show you the next exercise, which is very similar, okay? It's still kind of an external internal rotation, but it's horizontal. So we're going to start in that goalpost motion this time, a 90-degree angle, and we're going to bring those arms down horizontal with the floor, and then we're going to bring them back up, okay? So keep that mobility in the shoulder only, up and down, okay? Let's go ahead and begin with our 10. So arms up in that goalpost motion. We bring those arms down nice and level with the floor, and then we come back up. So there's a lot of things to remember here, right? We have to remember our core engagement. We have to remember our 90-degree angle in the armpit. We have to remember not letting those forearms drop any lower than horizontal with the floor, okay? So there's a lot of form cues here, but if you're doing this correctly, you're really gonna feel a good burn on the top of your shoulder here. Excellent. Hang on to those weights. If at any time during these mobility exercises you need to drop your weights and just use your arms, that's totally fine. I feel like I'm almost there. This is a little bit of a tough one, so hang on to it. We've got 3 more. Excellent. Hang on to it, 2. Last one here. Awesome. Come all the way up, then drop your weights. Shake those arms out. If you need to do a little bit of a shoulder stretch in between each exercise, you certainly can. A little arm across the body action never hurts anybody. Roll those wrists out. So last mobility exercise of the set is a W raise. So kind of similar to what we did in our warm-up. Keep resting. I'm going to demo. So we're going to hold those weights in kind of an outward bicep curl kind of motion where our elbows are glued to our sides to start and our palms are up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to raise into a Y and then come back down. So a little bit above the shoulders there. If that's a little tough, you can just come out horizontally kind of into a lateral raise, and then you can come back down, okay? So that is your last exercise of the set, and let's go ahead and begin. So get those elbows nice and close to your side, palms face up, and we're gonna go for 10 here. So right into a little bit of a Y, and then we come back down to those elbows to the side. Now keep this motion nice and slow. This is not a strength exercise, so we don't have to go super quick and super heavy, right? We're just kind of allowing our shoulder to go through the range of motion here. Excellent. Keep that back nice and straight. Your core is tight and engaged here. Stagger those feet if you feel like you need to. Excellent. Deep breath with every repetition. So we inhale as we come down. We exhale as we come up. You always exhale at the toughest part of the exercise. That's kind of a nice rule so that you're not holding your breath. Excellent. 3 more here. Fabulous job. 2. And last one. Awesome job, Mighty Family. Come back down all the way, and then you can drop those weights. We're gonna repeat it 2 more times. So now that we know how everything feels, now you can kind of make adjustments, right? If you started off with no weights, you can add some weights. You can lower your weights, even increase if you need to. So the nice thing about repeating these exercises is it can feel a little boring sometimes, but it has a lot of purpose. Your muscle memory is very important, okay? So let's go ahead and head into our second set. If you feel nice and rested, grab those weights. We're gonna start with that internal external rotation. So again, starting with those elbows and the weights together, make sure you have your 90-degree angle, and let's begin with 10 repetitions here, all the way out and back in. This is great for your, the kind of behind part of your shoulder. So we're hitting all parts surrounding our shoulder joint here. Excellent. Nice and slow motion here, not too quick. Come together all the way out. Excellent job, mighty family. Nice and slow. It's tough. We want to go quick, I know. We got 3 more here. Don't let those elbows drop. If you notice that your form is starting to sacrifice, drop your weights. And we have our last one here. Excellent. All the way back in, and now you can drop your weights. Set them aside, shake it out. Again, you can do a little bit of a shoulder stretch. So this mobility section is great to kind of prepare us for the strength section. It's kind of warming up that shoulder joint without too much resistance, allowing our shoulders to be nice and prepared for that strength set. So I know some of us are feeling this right now. You're like, Lindsay, this should be a strength set. It is a little bit, but I promise I have more in store for you. So let's go ahead and begin with our second exercise of the second set. So starting in that goalpost position, maintaining that 90-degree angle. Whoops, sorry. This time we bring our elbows down, or not our elbows, but our forearms down, and then we come back up. So really maintain your angles here. We should be nice and square, right? 90-degree angle with that armpit. Arm comes down horizontal with the floor, and then we come back up. Excellent. Breathe. This is tough. Our shoulders, while they pack a big punch, figuratively and literally, they're still, it's smaller muscles, right? So not a lot of weight can do a lot for the shoulders. Excellent. Hang on to it. Deep breath. We inhale as we come up. Exhale as we come down. You need to stagger those legs. I feel my core engagement going out the window because this is tough. Keep it going, mighty family. 3 more here if you're on my count. Again, you don't have to stick with my count. If you want to do 10 on your own, that's fine. Just get your 10 in. Last one here, all the way up. Keep that form. And bring that back into a goalpost and drop those weights. Oh boy, shake those arms out. That one, after those 2 internal external rotations, you definitely need to stretch out those shoulders a little bit. So shake out the shoulders, make sure you're taking your full break. Roll out the wrist if you need to. Last exercise coming up for the second set of our mobility. We got it one more time, okay? So after that, we'll head into some strength and a little bit of endurance because we'll pick up the pace a little bit. So grab those weights, elbows into the side, palms facing up, and let's begin with our W's, okay? So as we start as a W, we head into a Y, and then we bring it back down, okay? 10 here. Make sure you're breathing. Elbows come all the way back down before we head into the Y. Do not cheat yourself. Make sure you're sitting into every part of this mobility exercise, okay? Range of motion is super, super important here. Excellent. Deep breath. Great job. Three more after this one. Two. Excellent. Last one here. Awesome job, mighty family. Toss those weights. 2 sets done and dusted. Let's roll out the wrist, stretch out the shoulders a little bit of dynamic stretching here. So roll those shoulders back away from the ears. When we do upper body exercises, we start to get a little tense, right? As we're kind of halfway through, we want to tense those shoulders up. So roll those shoulders back away from the ears. We have everything one more time. Then we have some fun with some more weight and some strength exercises, okay? So hang in there one more time with this mobility exercises. Let's grab those weights. Now that we're warmed up, our rest periods don't need to be as long. So let's start with those internal external rotations one last time. Elbows glued in, weights in, and let's begin. So all the way out and together. 10 here. Breathe. Excellent. Fabulous. I even have to stop myself. I catch myself wanting to do these really quick just to get them over with. Don't do that. Don't be like me. Excellent. All the way in. Get those elbows as close as they can. They don't have to touch. If they touch, great. That means you have really good range of motion. But even I can't really touch my elbows together quite yet. So working on it. That's why we do these. Excellent. 3 more. 2. Last one. Hang on to it. Keep that form all the way together, all the way out and down. Fabulous job, Mighty Family. Shake those arms out. Roll those shoulders back away from the ears. We got a good 15 to 20 seconds here of rest. By now, we're 16 minutes in. Grab some water. I feel like even though this is not at all any cardio, we're still sweating. So we're still getting that heart rate up. So we have our harder internal, external rotations coming up. So let's grab those weights one last time, then you don't have to do these again. So let's get into that goalpost position. Make sure your form is all set, 90-degree angles, and let's begin. Lowering those forearms down, horizontal, and back up. Fabulous. Nice and slow here. If you, by now, are feeling any pain or popping, it's a good indication. Drop your weights. Or you don't have to do 10, right? The 10 is kind of what I recommend doing. If you can only do 6 or 8, that's perfectly fine. You're still moving, you're still working on that muscle, okay? Excellent. Oh, this is tough. I think I'm gonna drop my weights. We're gonna do just our arms for the last 5 here. Excellent. So much better, but I'm still working, right? It's still tension, but just without the extra 6 pounds. 2 more here. And last one. Excellent. All the way up and down. Shake those shoulders out. Last and final exercise of the mobility set. Then we hop into some strength and we have some fun. So shake it out. We've got about 15 seconds here. Roll those shoulders back away from your ears. Roll them out a little bit. Awesome job. Grab those weights. Still got about 10 seconds left, so don't worry, we don't have to hop into it just yet. But last and final W raise. So our elbows come in, glued to your sides, palms up, and let's begin. Up into that Y and down. Make sure you're pausing in that Y. Excellent. Now remember your modification, even if you didn't start with a modification, if getting above the shoulder or above the collarbone is tough, just come out to the side, okay? You can lower that range of motion. Totally fine. I already had to modify because I couldn't hang on to that weight, so please don't be ashamed if you have to do the same. Hold on to that breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath here. 4 more. Excellent. 3, 2, last one. Awesome job, Mighty Family. Drop those 3-pound or whatever weight. Drop the light weights. Shake it out. We're gonna get into our strength set now, okay? So now we're nice and warmed up. We've got some good range of motion under our belts. I know that would even felt a little bit tough, and it's supposed to, okay? So now we're gonna do some strength building, and then you're out of here after we do some stretches. We're gonna start with the first exercise. We're gonna jump right into it. So I have my 8-pounders here. We're gonna do lateral raise for 8 reps this time. So for our strength set, because we're increasing our weight, we're gonna lower the repetitions just by 2. So if you wanted to stick with 10, please do. If you wanna lower it down to 6 or even 5, that's fine, okay? So feet shoulder width apart, really squeeze that core. Lateral raise looks like this. So we come up in line with the collarbone, we come back down. Don't lock your elbows in, still have a slight bend in that elbow, okay? And back down. We're gonna start our count now that we've demoed it. So we've got 8 here. Really squeeze that core. You can still stagger your arm or stagger your feet if you need to for balance. Going out kind of makes us a little wobbly, so feel free to switch it up here. Excellent job. 3 more. 2 and 1. Excellent. If you're finishing out, if you wanted to do more than me, that's fine. Finish out your 10, shake those arms out. We're only gonna have about 10 seconds of rest in between here. We wanna keep those muscles going and keep our endurance up a little bit during this strength set. So we're gonna hop right into the next exercise, which is upright rows. So your back of your hands face out. You're gonna keep those weights nice and close to your chest. You're gonna row up and then you're gonna come down, okay? So keep those weights together in addition to keeping them nice and close to your chest. Bring them up to your collarbone and then down. All right, Mighty Family, let's begin. 8 reps here or wherever you feel most comfortable being at. Keep your back nice and straight. So as you bring those weights up, do not arch your back. And as you bring them down, try not to round your shoulders to where you're hunching your back, okay? So keep those shoulders back, raise those weights. This is where your core engagement comes in. Excellent. Deep breath. Exhale. 4 more. 2 and 1. Awesome job, Mighty Family. Drop those weights if you want. If you want to keep holding on to them, that's okay. We have a quick transition. So next exercise, front raise. So similar to our lateral raise, this time we're starting with the hands facing out. We're going to raise up and down. This is one that you really have to pay attention to your core engagement so that you're not rocking back as you bring those arms in front of you, okay? So I'm gonna stagger my legs just to make myself feel a little bit more comfortable. We're gonna hold those weights together, not as close as our rows. We're gonna bring our arms up and back down. So keep that core nice and tight. As you're doing these, we're starting our 8 now, by the way. As you're doing these, if you start to feel that when you bring your weights up, you're arching your back or you're falling backwards, drop your weight. You can do these without any weight as well. Excellent, breathe. Now we got a good sweat going. 2 more. Last one. Excellent job. I'm gonna keep my weights in hand. We're gonna move into shoulder shrugs next, okay? We've got 10 seconds of rest here, so take it. But shoulder shrugs are what they sound like. So feet shoulder width apart, weights just kind of in a suitcase carry. We're gonna raise those shoulders up to our ears and we're gonna come back down, okay? So it's little movements here, but they pack a big punch, all right? So let's go ahead and begin. 8 reps here all the way up to the ears. Keep that back nice and straight. So similarly to the raises, try not to round your shoulders forward. Excellent. Keep it going. 3 more. 2. Last one. Excellent. Drop those weights. First set of strength is done. We've got 2 more. So we're going to go through the next 2 sets pretty quickly. Again, only 10 seconds of rest in between. We're keeping our muscles nice and enduranced up. That's not a word, but we're keeping that muscle endurance up. There we go. So we're going to head into the second set of strength. So wiggle out any of the shoulders, stretch them out if you need to. We're going to go back right into that lateral raise. So grab your weights, feet shoulder width apart here, roll those shoulders back away from the ears, and let's begin. 8 or 10, whatever you want to do. Excellent. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Awesome job, Mighty Family. Drop those weights if you need to. I need to roll out those wrists right into upright rows in about 5 seconds here, okay? So grab your weights. Moving pretty quick here. Roll those shoulders back away from your ears, feet shoulder width apart, and begin. 8 here. Up to the collarbone and back down. Squeeze that core. There should be no rocking here. Three more. Keep it going. You know, when I don't talk as much, I'm tired. So I'm in it with you. I'm working. Last one. Fabulous, mighty family. Roll those shoulders back away from your ears. Drop your weights if you need to. I'm gonna keep them in my hand. I feel like when I drop them, I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm not done, all right? So front raise, here we go. Weight start in front. Stagger those feet for this one if you need to, and let's begin. 8 here, up and back down. Awesome job. 3 more. 2. Last one. Oh, get it up there and come down. Awesome job. Woo, roll those shoulders out. We got shoulder shrugs on deck. We got 10 seconds of rest though. So take it, deep breath. If you need more rest than what I'm giving you, please take it. Always remember, these are recommendations, right? You don't have to follow 100%. So let's get into shoulder shrugs now. So let's roll those shoulders back away from the ears to start. Make sure our back is nice and aligned, our core is engaged, and let's begin. Shoulders up and down, nice slow movement. This is one of those exercises that I like to call sneaky, right? Because when you're doing them, you don't really feel too much, but they're one of those exercises that you definitely will feel the next day. So hopefully some of y'all are taking Saturdays as rest days. If not, go for a walk. Take it easy tomorrow after this. 2 more. Last one. Excellent job. Drop those weights. Roll those wrists out. We have everything one more time, okay? So hang in there. I know by now our muscles are fatigued, but this is where our muscles start to grow, right? So our muscles get tired. We want to quit. We want to drop the weights, which you certainly can. But if we can push past that discomfort, right? We're not pushing past pain. We're pushing past a little discomfort. That's where our muscle fibers break down and grow back nice and strong, okay? So hang in there. One more set, and then we are done, okay? Lateral raise. Grab those weights. Feet shoulder width apart, roll those shoulders back away from the ears, and let's begin. 8 here. Up, in level with the collarbone, and down. So this form is really important, okay? So if you're going above the collarbone, you're really risking back injury, back pain. So we wanna keep nice and steady in line with the collarbone. You can certainly go lower, right? So even if in line with the collarbone is tough, you go down here, that's just fine. 3 more. 2 and 1. All the way up, all the way down. Fabulous. Roll those shoulders out. We're heading right into upright rows here. You got 10 seconds. I'm gonna keep my weights in my hand. This is the last time we have to do upright rows, okay? So feet shoulder width apart, weights out in front. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. All the way up and down. Keep those weights nice and close to your chest. You should almost kind of feel it graze your chest and your stomach as you come up, okay? That's how close you want your weights to be. Excellent. 3 more. 2. Last one. All the way up and down. Awesome job, mighty family. Roll it out. 10 seconds of rest. We hop into front raises, then we got shrugs, then we get to stretch, okay? Hang in there. Deep breath, roll those shoulders back away from the ears, feet shoulder width apart or staggered, weights come in front. 3, 2, and 1. So raise up and down. Excellent. Slight bend in the elbow here still, okay? We never ever, even whatever, doesn't matter what we're doing, you never want to lock a joint, okay? Even with your legs as you're standing, keep a slight bend in the knee there. Excellent. Keep it going. Oh, 3 more. Breathe through it, okay? Deep breath, inhale. Exhale, we got 2. Inhale. Exhale, we got our last one. And down. Excellent job, mighty family. Oh, roll those shoulders out. Drop your weights if you need to. We're gonna hop into our last exercise, shoulder shrugs, okay? So roll those shoulders back away from your ears. Always a good reset in between exercises. Pick your feet location and let's begin. Last and final exercise, all the way up and down. This is a great exercise for the back, or what we call our lats, or our latissimus dorsi muscles that are kind of lay right there on the upper part of our back. This is not only a good shoulder mobility exercise, but also a great strengthening exercise for that muscle. Excellent. Halfway. 3 more. 2. Last one. All the way up and all the way down. Finally, we can drop those weights for good and we can start some of our stretches. Awesome job, Mighty Family. That's a lot of repetitions. That is 30 plus, okay, my math is not mathing for, it's a lot of reps. We did over 100 reps, okay? I'm not gonna try to do the math here, but let's get into some wrist rolls here. Roll those wrists out. We've held on to our weights quite a bit, so go in any direction that feels most comfortable here, then we'll get into our shoulder stretches. If you wanna sit for these stretches, by all means, go right ahead. Now we're gonna get into our shoulder stretch, okay? So take that left arm, bring it across your body, hold on to that forearm, okay? Try not to hold on to your elbow or your wrist. And then when you're in this position, draw that shoulder away from your ear. So whenever we do shoulder stretches, we don't wanna be up here. We wanna be nice and straight across the body. You should feel this right along the outer part of your shoulder, which we worked pretty dang good today with those rotations. Deep breath, get that heart rate back down. Excellent. A couple more seconds. And let's switch. Breathe, get that heart rate down. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one whose heart rate is like up right now. Maybe you didn't get as much of a cardio workout, probably because you're not up here teaching it, but if your heart rate is up like mine, make sure you're taking nice big deep breaths. Excellent. Let's get into some mobility rotations here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our left arm first. We're going to keep our palm towards our body. We're going to come up. I'm going to go down because my arm's going to get cut off. We're going to rotate and then we're going to come across. So you get the idea now. We just want to make sure we're getting a full rotation. So as we come up, we rotate that hand out kind of as you're doing a backstroke. And then you come back. We're going to do 2 more here. Really, really good way to stretch out that shoulder, especially after some strength. Excellent. Last one here. All right, let's switch sides. So this time the right hand, we come up and come back down. So you can see my hand rotate out into that backstroke and then we come back. Excellent. Make sure that if you are new to strength classes or you picked a heavier weight than you normally do some more stretching tomorrow, okay? These stretches after these classes are not enough. They're just a little bit of a cool down for you, but they're never enough to really make sure your muscles are recovered. So take some time to stretch tomorrow. Let's do 1 more here. Excellent. Last part of our stretch here, we're gonna take our arms all the way out. We're gonna bring them forward, interlock those hands, rotate them out, and then round those upper shoulders, the upper back there, stretching out the back, tuck that core and that pelvis in, and then relax those arms as you bring them back down. Excellent job. Have an amazing weekend. I will see you all next week.